everyone, I'm Heidz with Austin Entertainment Management, here with my co-hosts, Swearwords. How you doing?
What's up, Heidi? How's it going, guys?
So we have a super exciting episode because there is a special announcement coming up later. But we're talking more about what happens in the middle. We've been talking a lot about like getting started with music and getting started establishing your brand and getting started reaching your audience. But now we're going to move on and talk a little bit more about what happens in the middle and how do you enjoy the journey on your way to greatness. You ready for this conversation, Mike? It's going to be
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Born and raised for this moment.
Awesome. So Austin Entertainment Management is sponsors of Pharmapalooza, which is going to be in Kaukauna, Wisconsin, June 9th through the 11th. And this all came out because my band Mass is going to be performing. And we're doing such a cool thing. I'm loving this more than I thought that I would, actually. I'm interviewing each of the bands. Hold on, like something happened on my computer over here, so I thought like everything just like shut down for a second. So, okay, we're cool. Everything's good. So getting to talk to all the bands, find out more about them. I'm so excited to be hanging out with them for the weekend. I mean, I encourage all of you to visit howlsthebomb.com/Pharmapalooza if you've been missing the interviews as we've been releasing them on Friday evenings. Go back and watch the replays. Like, find out more about these bands, fall in love with these bands, come hang out with us for the weekend. It's going to be like one big metal family reunion. So it's awesome.
So awesome. That's
you
so
might
cool.
have to fly up to Wisconsin with me, Mike, after you watch all of those videos.
I know, like, it sounds so good. Like, what? I mean, I haven't seen a festival like that ever, but like just the whole setting of it, Pharmapalooza, and then camping, and then metal, drinks, like it's probably gonna be the best time. I hope you get video footage because we need to see it.
What I feel is going to be one of the best parts is that there's going to be cheese curds available, and like you can't get those in Florida.
Definitely not.
If you haven't tried a cheese curd, like a fresh one, like straight from the cheese factory, like fresh, guys, seriously, you're missing out. Okay, so that's June 9th through the 11th. You can go to that page I was telling you about, the howlsthebomb.com/Pharmapalooza page, and get more information about this festival so you can figure out how you are going to attend and hang out with us. And that really is all of my announcements this week about events, because I wanted to save plenty of time to talk about our topic today, since we are talking about the journey. I will mention, though, before we move on to the next part, that all of our events, online networking, and other stuff that we have going on weekly, you can see that at howlsthebomb.com/events. You ready, Mike?
Oh yeah. Let's dive in.
Now, I have to say, I really, really appreciate Mike because he's moving this week. And so after lifting like a ton of furniture, and you know how it goes after like you move all of your stuff, then suddenly like you have to go buy more. And,
it's never enough.
So thanks, Mike, for being with us, even though you've got some craziness going on over there in your life right now.
I'm here for the people.
Yes, yes. We've got important things to talk about.
Hmm.
So, over the past few months, we've been talking about getting started, the very beginning of the journey, like finding out who you are, discovering what it is that you want in your life. What is it that you value? What kind of things are important to you? Who do you want to help? Who do you want to be around? All of these kind of things. Because the clearer you are about that, you're setting your destination to where you're headed. And so you've got to understand where you are and then where you want to be with clarity. So if you're just catching up with us now, go back and watch some of the past videos. If you're just getting started, go back and see some of the stuff that we've been talking about since January and get yourself started. And it's okay, like if everything seems really overwhelming and you have no idea how you're going to go from, not really knowing what you're supposed to do and not having the money or the resources or the network or all of that. Don't worry about it, about how you're going to get there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Those answers are going to come to you when you start working on it. Right, Mike?
Yeah, yeah. Seriously, guys, if you need any help getting started and getting to the point that of the show that we're going to talk about today, watch all those videos. They are so informative. I swear to you, you will learn so much about yourself, your brand, what you're trying to accomplish, and it's so worth it. And it's free. So please do.
Yes, awesome. And what I've discovered along the way that this information that we're putting out is great. But, I've seen you fired up after a mastermind before, Mike.
Oh, yeah.
And then, the next week later, you're like, yeah, I was going to do this stuff, but I didn't get to it this week. Right?
Oh, yeah. That's where the accountability comes in.
Yes. And I know, and I mean, it happens to me too. Like stuff,
Mm-hmm.
distractions come in that you weren't expecting. You're like, yeah, I totally am going to have time to do this. But then like something else moves in and suddenly like it's kind of like out the window.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not just getting the information, because as we've talked about before, there's tons of information on YouTube. You could learn pretty much anything you want about by watching YouTube, but then that insight is only a small part of it.
Right.
It's the doing it part that's going to get you the results that what you're looking for, and that's the more challenging aspect of it. So with talking about all of this branding and who you want to work with specifically and things like that, along with conversations that I've had over the last couple of weeks with my inner circle and my board of directors, I've been making some really big decisions around the question, how can I have the most impact on the music industry, on other musicians that I come in contact with, on other business owners that are in the music industry? How can I have the biggest impact? Because if we're all thriving and we're doing well, then the music industry should be a better place for the future people to come and enjoy it, right?
Yep.
So I've been meditating on this question. I've been thinking about this question, and all of this kind of came to be in December. So I'm going to show you how the how shows up through the story that I'm going to tell you right now, to kind of inspire you to just get started wherever you are on working toward that next step, toward that question that you just can't figure out yet. So when I was getting really serious about doing music. I realized that I would do almost anything to avoid doing the things that I should be doing. I talked about wanting to sing in a band, but you know what? If you're going to sing in a band, that requires you to practice. So I would schedule time to practice, and then sometimes I just wouldn't, or it'd be a short practice, or I'd skip it. I'd be like, yep, too tired, worked too hard today, like today was rough, whatever the excuse. And so practice was an example. If you want to work in any industry, it's important that you learn how it works. And so I wasn't spending time doing that, even though I had time to do it. I was wasting that on Facebook, just like scrolling, right?
Oh yeah.
But eventually I reached this point of frustration. That was in 2007. That spun me off into this fascination with why is it that people say they want something so bad? They desire it, but they don't do the things that they're supposed to do to actually have that in their lives. So step number one for me is I created an accountability game that I played by myself for a really long time. And you know what? It really did help me build better habits. But I reached kind of like a plateau and I stopped doing it. And so in 2020, when I became a coach and I was trying to figure out branding, niche, who did I want to work with, all of these things, I realized that the accountability game that I created for myself probably would have a whole lot more impact if it was played as a group. And so I explored that. And discovered that, yes, you know what? The game was refreshed for me. Suddenly, like I was overcoming things that I was stuck on when I was playing solitaire. And having that added accountability really helped. Now, Mike, you got to play my accountability game at Chief Bet. What did you think of the game?
I think it was awesome. It puts a different perspective on accountability, and it makes it more engaging and more entertaining, I feel like, because it's easy to navigate. It makes you ask questions about, what are you trying to accomplish today? It really puts into perspective things that I feel like you wouldn't ask yourself normally. Because before I started doing your game, I just went about my day just aimless. Like I didn't really set a goal of what I was trying to accomplish for the day, or I didn't really reflect on what happened to me yesterday, any revelations or anything like that. So I feel like it's really impactful in that aspect because it changes how you go about thinking, and especially if you do it like first thing in the morning, which is like what you recommend, right? Yeah, first thing in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good way to set up your day, and it puts into perspective like what you're actually trying to accomplish, so that way you don't waste too much of your own time for the day. It's important.
That's exactly it. I mean, it's a way to organize your time, and you're doing it by establishing better habits. Because you're doing a lot of things on automatic pilot right now that are just wasting a ton of your time. So if you can
Yes.
slow that down, ask yourself some questions every day, you're going to start cutting some of that out. And one of the biggest sections of the habits and where you start with this game is talking about mindset habits, because really it's how you think about things that it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. However you think it's going to go, that's how it's going to go.
Right.
So as this game went on, we played this 2 years beta testing as I'm working on developing this into an app, so it's even more user friendly. But after 2 years, I realized again I had reached a plateau with my habits. And even with players in the game, I was noticing that there were certain things they were still stuck on. Even though we talked about it in like our group meetings, we're still getting stuck. So what is this all about? And I kept asking myself that question. What is that all about? I was very curious. So December rolls around this year, and I come across Positive Intelligence, and they were doing a coach's grant. So I applied. The program started in January. And what I learned is the mental fitness element of things that I was missing. So mental fitness is your capacity to respond to life's challenges with positive rather than a negative mindset. So it's being able to shift from that negative mindset when you notice it in a situation and see it from a viewpoint of what I was just talking about, curiosity, and be able to figure out how to turn that situation into a gift or opportunity for yourself. So I realized as I was going through this program that if I was to have the most impact on the music industry, that focusing on something that I already love talking about, something that gives me tons of energy to teach to other people, is this concept of how do you control your thoughts so that when something happens and it knocks you down, you can quickly put yourself back together again and do the things that you said you wanted to do. And especially when it comes to music, when I look back at my life, the number one thing that has held me back, that has kept me from doing the things that I said that I wanted to be doing, is what I was telling myself I could or could not do. How about you, Mike? Like, what do you think is your number one thing that has held you back from doing the stuff in music that you want to do?
It's definitely my mindset towards music, because I know the story that I told myself a million times before was, you know, I don't know if I can do this by myself. I think I need other people in order for me to fully get the most out of this. And like, I felt like I needed a band to play the genre that I was going for. And it wasn't until like this past year that I realized that I was completely wrong about everything. So all those years that I told myself this same consistent story, I ended up just missing out on a time that I could have been doing as opposed to thinking about doing. So like, I completely been there. I still fight it every day.
Yes, and you know that's an important thing to mention. Just because I've been doing, you know, this mental muscle building, like, doesn't mean like once I get to a certain strength that I would stop doing this. I realized that what was being taught by Positive Intelligence was one of those really small, simple habits, like what I was teaching in my game, that is going to have a huge impact in both your personal and your professional life. It's going to improve your performance. It's going to give you more peace of mind and happiness, which is really the topic of what we're talking about today, enjoying the journey. And it's also going to help you deepen the relationships that you have.
Yes.
And that is really when I realized that if I was going to have the most impact on the music industry, I needed to be teaching this to other musicians.
Mm-hmm.
So I have decided that I would become a Positive Intelligence coach, and this is the first time I am announcing it on the internet to the world. Yeah, so I'm super excited to be sharing Dr. Shahzad's work, his research, and bringing it to musicians. So where that plays in with what we're talking about here every week is your saboteurs are really feeding your fears. They're the ones telling you that you should run rather than walk into the challenge. And they've convinced you that they're your friends.
Yeah, that they're there to protect you.
Exactly. And so what we're going to be talking about over the next several weeks is how do we overcome the fears that we have as musicians? Where is that voice coming from? And is that phrase, that sentence that you're telling yourself really true? Where I wanted to start with this, springboarding off of our theme from today, is one that I've heard many times. And it really is a limiting belief. It's associating money and your creative talents with music, and it becomes like an all or nothing thing where it's like, if I'm making money, it's not going to be fun, it's going to turn into a job, and I'm going to lose the one and only thing that brings me like happiness in life on the one side. Or you make money with it and now it's a job, it's no fun. So like there's actually an in between. It's not like, oh, if I start making money, I'm going to lose all interest in it. In some cases, in some parts, that might be true, but that's part of your journey. That's part of the fun. That's part of the adventure and the exploring along the way. So we're going to be talking about ways that you can open that side of your thinking and be able to see things in a more empathetic and innovative, creative kind of way, and then start acting for the first time, like not feeling stuck or hesitant. Just go. Stop wasting time. So, since I've gone through this and I'm a coach, and Mike is also a coach, I told him about this grant. So tell me, Mike, I heard you applied. You told me you applied. How did that go?
It actually went really good. I got the email a couple days ago, and it says I'm good to go. I got approved, so I can too try to become a positive intelligence coach. And I'm really excited to learn all the material too. Like I'm so pumped for this program. I feel like it's gonna suit me. I love it. I love being able to do what we do. And like even just having the mindset of a coach and being able to expand our education and helping everybody around us, it's so impactful and so important. And I really just look forward to being able to expand that education so I can help more people.
Yeah.
I want to be like you, Heidi.
Oh, thanks, Mike.
You know all this stuff, Heidi. I need to learn.
Well, just like everybody out there, have no fear. You can start exactly where you are, taking little small baby steps, and you will get here.
That's right. I'm trying, taking those steps.
What you see here only started at the beginning of 2022. Mm-hmm. So that's with just a little bit of part-time per week, building it up to this. Yeah. Sure, we're not like a big, huge like show with a ton of followers at this point, but we're taking baby steps and we're doing the next thing to get there and the next thing to get there. And we're not worried or panicked about how we're going to get to the end result that we're seeing in our head and what this is going to turn into.
Yeah.
We're just enjoying the journey, right?
Definitely.
Playing on Canva, making.
I love Canva.
Not a sponsor, but hey, we think every musician should.
So true.
So next week we're going to be talking more about your fears with money and making money with music, and start kind of digging into those fears. And if you have any fears that you can think of, the am I too old one I've heard before, like how I'm never going to find the right people, like I'm afraid to stand in front of people on stage. I mean, there's lots of things to be afraid of when you're a performer.
There's so much. Like, if I'm telling you, like, 'cause I know it even with myself. I'm like, does this shirt make me look fat? Like, is that what everyone's looking at while I'm jamming right now? It's like that doesn't even matter. It doesn't even make sense to be thinking these things, but you do it anyways. I guess we're only human.
You just hit on one for me, the like 3 hours it takes me to get ready for a show, because I'm like, what about this outfit? No, let me try this instead. Like,
I know that feeling because I'm a Libra too. So I'll try on like 5 outfits and then I'll just go with like a t-shirt and jeans. And it's like, what am I doing?
right? And then I'm like, I just need to burn everything in my closet. Like, what is this? Okay.
Except for the platform boots though, because those are nice.
Yes. You gotta have one good pair of shoes. I feel like there are other people that are gonna argue and be like, "Are you kidding? Like a different pair of shoes, like for every day of the month." But I am a firm believer in a good pair of rockin' boots, and it just stays. Yeah. Your feet will love you. So, before we go, I do want to mention that for our monthly Austin Entertainment Management networking, we are going to have a very special 2-hour event. And I'm going to be talking more about this concept of mental fitness, explaining more about what it is and the steps of what you would need to do to start building this muscle. And so you'll know all about it by the end of the meeting. So that's coming up on April 7th. We're on to April.
Time's flying.
Yeah, no kidding, right? Mm-hmm. So that'll be the theme of our next meeting. I will work on getting those events posted online. And I just want to leave you with this thought. If we're going to be enjoying the journey on the way there, and there's these things that you want to do in music, but you're not there yet, how much happiness is it costing you now as you're not doing the stuff in music that you want to be doing? When are you going to allow yourself to have a little bit of happiness and really enjoy music the way that you want to? It's just a choice. And then we can help you the rest of the way. There's people here that you can have on your team, your own board of directors.
That's right. And we're the best, too.
No egos here.
Nope.
So seriously, we are over here having a ton of fun at Austin Entertainment Management. We'd love for you to join us. So you can reach out to me, you can reach out to Mike. You know, we're on Facebook. We're both on Facebook. I'm a little on Instagram. We're working on expanding on the socials. But hey, baby steps. Get started. Right. Something. Baby steps.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, reach out to us. We'll have fun together. It's a good time.
Heck yeah.
All right, y'all. Don't forget to tune in on Friday so you can check out the next interview. We're interviewing Sweet Talk on Friday. So check that out. And we'll see you guys all here again next week, Wednesday at 10:30.
Later.